Supervisor Perotti?
Yes.
Councilpersons Blackman?
Yes.
Rebellard?
Yes.
Time now is 6:35.
To come out of executive session, return to regular meeting.
I'll second.
Brad? And the time is 7:02. Supervisor Perotti?
Yes.
Councilpersons Doyle? Gutierrez?
Yes.
Blackman?
Yes.
Rebellard?
Yes.
Please rise and salute the flag.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Emergency exits are to my right, behind the town clerk, and also the door you came in. Roll, please.
Supervisor Perotti?
Here.
Councilpersons Doyle? Here. Gutierrez?
Here.
Blackman?
Here.
Rebellard?
Here.
Make a motion to open the public hearing for local law adopting tax cap override.
Second.
Supervisor Perotti?
Yes.
Councilpersons Doyle? Yes. Gutierrez?
Yes.
Blackman?
Yes.
Rebellard?
Yes.
The current preliminary 3 budget is $199,000 and $149 over the tax cap. That doesn't relate to the tax rate. That's how much over the tax cap it is. I had given you the tax cap summary in your budget because last year our property tax levy was $2,138,874. This year, to stay under the 2% tax cap, our tax levy can only be $2,271,922. And currently, in the current budget, it's $2,471,071. Is there any comment?
Where's that summary? Sorry.
What? First page in your packet.
Before I start,
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was looking for a piece of paper.
I just want to ask if it's true that if you stay within the 2% tax cap and do the required paperwork, do we taxpayers get a rebate from the state?
No, you don't.
You don't?
No.
That used to be the case.
No, what they have is a carryover. It's not a rebate.
No, but people used to get checks like
Yes,
years ago, many years ago.
I mean,
Yeah.
in 2016, 17, 18, I got rebates from the school district.
Yeah, they discontinued that
discontinued
program.
that?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have anything else to say. I
Okay.
wanted that rebate.
Can I just say I love your sweatshirt? It's amazing. Thank you.
So is there any other public comment for the tax cap override? If not, I make a motion to close the public hearing for local law adopting tax cap override.
I'll second that.
Supervisor Perotti?
Yes.
Councilpersons Doyle? Yes. Gutierrez?
Yes.
Blackman?
Yes.
Rebellard?
Yes.
Make a motion to open the public hearing for the 2024 preliminary budget.
I'll second that.
Supervisor Perotti?
Yes.
Councilpersons Doyle? Yes. Gutierrez?
Yes.
Blackman?
Yep.
Rebellard?
Yes.
We will be adopting the budget on November 16th after the actual tax cap levy is calculated. Does anybody have any questions on the budget? Comments?
Good evening. My name is Judy Westfall. I am the Secretary for the Planning and Zoning Boards here at the Town Hall, Town of Amenia. Please take a look at page 6 of the preliminary budget number 6. The line item I'm questioning is planning PS near the bottom of the page. That's me.
Wait a minute, Judy. Page 6.
Where is it, Judy, on the page? How far down?
Very bottom, it says planning.
Planning PS.
Got it.
Second to last slide.
Thank you.
I was hired in September of 2016 as a part-time secretary in both the building department and the planning department to make full-time at base pay of $15.85 an hour. Since 2021, I've been hired for full-time responsibilities of both the planning and zoning board secretary. Since this time, there's been no other part-time or full-time employees in this department. Every other department has at least 2 employees in it. And I find it hard to believe that for a person in my 60s, I still don't make more than $17.50 an hour. I made more than that when I was in my 40s. I feel that with my background in both the building, planning, and zoning departments, that my skills after basically learning and teaching myself the software, and now working solo, that my hourly pay would be much more than that. I requested an hourly figure in this year's 2024 proposed budget that I feel warrants both my skills and knowledge of the town's codes, as well as my background after 7+ years in both the building and planning and zoning departments. I've been filling out the budget requests for the past 2 years and requested an increase each year and not received one. After looking at the 2024 tentative budget line versus the 2024 preliminary line of preliminary number 3 budget, it's apparent to me that 1, I will not be receiving the raise that I asked for, still under $40,000 a year, and 2, there is nothing in the budget for another part-time person in the planning and zoning office to date, and it has not been resolved. I've had numerous conversations about the hiring another person. I feel that I cannot take time off when I'm entitled to do it because I'm leaving the office unattended. In surrounding towns and villages, the starting pay for planning and zoning secretaries between $20 and $25 an hour. I've been here now for 7+ years. We have never received the suggested cost of living raises here. This year's suggested cost of living raise is 3.2% for 2024. The current preliminary budget number 3 shows an increase of only 2.19 for planning at PS, 2.19%. I don't take the health insurance or have other benefits here, which I would consider to be an extended portion of pay also. Other items in the budget continue to go up at much higher rates than our pay rates. To name a few, the cost of lawn mowing, snow removal, the cost of attorneys, the number of people being hired in other departments, calculations for more than 2% increases in other offices for 2024, and other expense items that continue to inflate the budget. During the first 5 years of my employment, 2016 to 2021, I was expected to be the secretary for ZBA when the current secretary was not available, without being asked or compensated, and also having the title of part-time planning board secretary while working in the building department part-time as well. In 2029 through 2021, during COVID, my duties as planning and zoning board secretary increased because of the need to have planning board and zoning board of appeals meeting held via Zoom. This required me to learn how, by teaching myself, to use Zoom software with cameras and how to still do all the other requirements of an open public meeting without any extra help. It was never discussed with me, just expected, and I never received any extra pay for it. Also in 2022, when the building department was without Mike Segelkin, I spent many hours answering questions, taking phone calls, and assisting in software problems in the building department when the new secretary needed help. One of the duties of the planning and zoning department secretary is also to keep track of escrow accounting of the projects before the boards. There are many accounts I'm also the collector of and replenishment of funds from the applicants when needed, as well as providing the copies of escrow bills that are submitted by the town consultants once a month to the applicant, as well as submitting monthly vouchers to the town bookkeeper for payment from these accounts. This is a very time-consuming job and requires time without interruption. I would say it takes up to 10 to 15 hours per month to complete these tasks. An office assistant would also be helpful for this. This year, my duties were extended to planning secretary for the planning board attorney for the filing of 2 Article 78 applications for the past 3 months. Many long hours were spent gathering documents together for the record for court proceedings for both. I also spent countless hours keeping up with the Troutbeck application during the last year and a half, and the many public hearings and public concerns. Again, there was a necessity for more than one person in the office during these times. I also spend many crucial hours reminding the planning board members of meeting dates and times, as well as communicating with them to find out their availability for meetings, so that there will be a quorum. Their responses are either none or not timely enough. Foiled and outstanding pending projects also require extra hours from just one employee. Do the members of the town board ever communicate with the chairman of these boards to see if their board secretary is performing her job duties required? Maybe that's something to consider at budget time. Just a thought. And how is an evaluation of this job to be performed? Please consider the preliminary budget number 3 line for planning PS to be suggested planning tentative budget line as stated, 41,343. At last, that will be a start. Thanks for your time.
Judy,
Yeah.
could you send that around to the board?
Sure.
Thank
No
you.
problem.
I want to say thank you very much, Judy, for coming forward and explaining the situation that I didn't realize for so long. I don't recall you ever coming to our budget meetings, but I think that this is very pertinent information, and I apologize for not doing good evaluations and checking to make sure you have everything you needed. You do an excellent job, and I just want to thank you for all the time that you spent getting those planning board meetings prepared. And I know when there's a court case, there's a whole lot of copying and photocopying and documentation, and you have no choice. You have to get it done. Thank you.
Is there any other comments?
I'm Michael Segelkin, building inspector, and I will add, Judy was a great help in my office when she was there, and she still is in planning. When, you know, my secretary needs a hand, Judy's always there to lend one. Why I'm up here tonight, I had put in for a vehicle. I understand it was taken out, as usual. You know, it's like the 7th or 8th year, but. And the other thing, I did put in for a little bit better raise myself, seeing as how I was singled out and did not get one last year. When I left here in 2015, I was making more money than I am yet. I've been back 8 years and I still am not where I was when I left. When I came back in 15, it was being shared with Northeast. The supervisor, Perotti, went to Northeast at that point, and she got me a higher pay in Northeast, so I was equal between the two towns. This year, in 2024, I'm going to be $4.15 more in Northeast than I am in Amenia. So, you know, I know last year we could pay the other person well more than I'm getting paid, and I'm all alone yet. I don't believe we put in for a deputy in the budget. It was questioned. So I'm asking for more, seeing as how I'm doing everything. Thank you.
Is there any other comment?
My name is Manawer Ahmed. I live at 289 Bog Hollow Road in Wassaic. I'm going to speak on behalf of the Highway Department. I spent some extensive time meeting with the members who work on our roads to keep them safe, to keep them clean, and especially as we approach the winter time, their workload increases. The Highway Department shared with me the nature of their work, and they shared with me their compensation. And that consistently, each year, when there's a 50-cent raise or a $1 raise, that the current elected officials simply don't understand that that's not a humane way of living.
It's not
So
what?
they have brought up that it's simply not enough compensation. It is among the lowest in Dutchess County and is not commensurate with the nature of the work. They also pay for almost all of their health insurance. And we know that there are many, many, many other jobs where the employer pays for a bulk of the health insurance and the employee pays for a smaller portion. This is evident in their pay stubs. And if supervisor and council persons are able to take a closer look at how the employees of Town of Amenia are compensated, we heard from 2 other folks today. The words people have used to describe the current condition of pay is inhumane. So it's the rate of pay, it's health insurance, and it's basic benefits. And there are less than a dozen, as far as I understand, in terms of full-time employees. I don't have the exact count, but that's not very many in comparison to other towns in Dutchess County. And we can also look at other counties that surround us in New York State. Thank you.
Are there any other comments for the preliminary budget? Jim?
My name's Jim Wright. I live in Amenia Union, and I'm a member of, I'm a board member of Zoning Board of Appeals and also on the Wastewater Committee. I want to just start by commending Judy for her tireless work on the Zoning Board of Appeals. I don't think she has to corral us quite as she has to the planning board people, but she certainly keeps track of everything, and she's just a cheerful, wonderful presence. So you all know that. I'm just here, I didn't know about the Judy part of my presentation, but I'm just here as a member of the ZBA. First I was the chairman, and then I had to give that up, and now I'm just a member. But I've been on the wastewater committee since its inception. Last year we asked for $60-some-odd thousand. We were unable to secure that amount, and it has severely limited the progress of moving towards the map plan and report that we need to do to get the process rolling. So I'm just asking you all to consider funding the wastewater committee in the amount that we have requested, because we really need this money to move ahead. Without the money, we can't hire the attorneys, the engineers that we need in order to establish a map plan and report, which is the very, very, very first step towards forming a wastewater district.
I think we're looking at-
Actually, we have $85,000 in that line in the budget.
I'm just encouraging you to
Keep it.
keep
To
it.
keep it there?
That's it.
That's the,
Love that amount. Thank you very much.
And
Just
there's like
leave it there.
65,000 in the engineering part of that as well.
I'm just saying, let's
That is the
keep
engineering.
that amount that was requested in the final budget. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There are any other comments for the preliminary budget? George?
I guess I'm just unclear. We need $85,000 to find out if there is going to be a wastewater district?
No,
Because,
it's to form the wastewater district. It's a legal requirement. There has to be an engineer and a lawyer involved to figure out what rates would be and kind of put that package together in order to get funding, in order to secure funding.
all right. It's a lot of money.
It is.
Are there any other public comment in the public hearing for the 2024 preliminary budget? If not, I make a motion to close the public hearing for the 2024 preliminary budget.
I'll second that.
7:22. Supervisor Perotti?
Yes.
Councilpersons Doyle?
Yes.
Gutierrez?
Yes.
Blackman?
Yes.
Rebelard?
Yes.
Make a motion to return to regular meeting.
Second.
Supervisor Perotti?
Yes.
Councilpersons Doyle?
Yes.
Gutierrez?
Yes.
Blackman?
Yes.
Rebelard?
Yes.
Is there any other public comment? If not, supervisors report. Highway garage and salt shed, reviewing proposals sent by engineer for final concept plan engineering and architectural fee. Town of
Victoria, I'm
Yes.
sorry. That's the engineer who did the first piece. Are we not going to get other bids from other engineers for the next phase?
For,
For the next phase for the highway garage? Or are you saying the final concept plan was just updating the one to remove the columns?
right.
Oh, okay, great.
Town of Amenia Highway employees. The Town of Amenia Highway Department employees are not the lowest paid in Dutchess County. They receive raises every year, and the town pays for 80% of their benefits, both of which are mandated by their United Public Service Employees Union. CDBG Route 44 sidewalk ramp. Pre-construction meeting with Dutchess County Planning, engineer, contractor, and Supervisor Perotti was held on October 31st. Notice to proceed document has been signed and sent to Raja Construction. Dutchess County Tourism Awards of Distinction. Supervisor Perotti attended the awards breakfast on November 1st, 2023 at the FDR Library in support of local businesses who are one of the 3 nominees for each award. Four Brothers Drive-In was nominated for the Dutchess County Executives Award for overall excellence. Troutbeck Concierge Julio Rojas Sacas was nominated for the Hospitality and Service Award. 10 Mile Distillery was nominated for and won the Newcomer Award of Distinction. Congratulations to these local businesses. 2024 budget. Public hearings for 2024 preliminary budget and local law to override the 2% tax cap are both on November 2nd, 2023 at 7 p.m. The 2024 final budget will be adopted on November 16th after submission of tax levy to OSC, which is the Comptroller's Office. HEAP and SNAP. For anyone concerned about paying their fuel or energy heating bills, the HEAP, or Home Energy Assistance Program, opens on November 1st, 2023. Jessica Raymond from any Northeast Community Center will be at the Amenia Town Hall on Monday, November 6th and Monday, November 13th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. in back of the auditorium on the first floor to assist homeowners in filling out the applications to apply. There is no appointment required. She will also assist in completing SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program applications. Town of Amenia website, Channel 22. Administrators for the website are Annette Culligan at extension 105 and Nancy Nowick at extension 108, who can add items to the website as requested by organizations, committees, and boards. Events by organizations, churches, and schools can be advertised in local Channel 22 by sending information to Amenia TV at ameniany.gov. Amenia Town Hall COVID-19 masks are optional and are available in an envelope on the second set of doors, in addition to KN95 ones on the table inside the front door. We have sent a request to Dutchess County for COVID test kits. Signing the visitor log is required. Town clerk report.
Good evening. The board had the opportunity to interview candidates who have expressed their interest in serving on the enhancement committee. Has the board had the opportunity to decide and prepare to make action?
I'll make a motion to appoint Anna Hayduke and James Oliger to the Enhancement Committee.
I'll second that.
Starting immediately.
Supervisor Prodi?
Yes.
Councilpersons Doyle?
Yes.
Gutierrez?
Yes.
Blackman?
Yes.
Revelard?
Yes.
Congratulations, James and Anna. Thank you. I know that sounds a little weird welcoming them this late in the year, but that's one of our fun committees that has positions without terms. However, bring to the attention of the board that we do have multiple committees and commissions and seats that are expiring or have expired. For our seats that have expired, it's for the Board of Assessment Review. And then expiring is going to be on December 31st of 2023. And the following positions are Planning Board, 1 seat, Zoning Board of Appeals, 1 seat, Alternate Zoning Board of Appeals, 2 seats, Recreation, 1 seat, and Ethics, 1 seat. So this time I'm requesting from the board authorization to go ahead and advertise for all of those positions with the open and expired terms. So normally I don't, this is going to be published where we pay for the ad, but then we do one with all committees, and I usually try to add like a blurb for all of our committees.
So Victoria and I were notified that there is a potential opening, and I don't see why we wouldn't go ahead and advertise it with or without that.
I haven't been made aware of any potential openings.
Opening for what?
For the, it's called the Board of Assessment Review.
I said that. The
She
board.
has that.
That was the.
There's two. There's 2, and they're
There's
both
2
expired.
Oh, okay, sorry, I did not hear that.
Yeah, right now, that's what we're,
So the one that
Very good.
expires this year, and then there's the seat that was still open and vacant from last year, which expires in 2025.
Very
Yeah,
good.
no, that's why
Sorry
I said
about
2.
that.
That's okay. And we call it the bar all the time, but for us, we know it's the Board of Assessment Review, but.
and there are
others may
current
not.
2 openings. Okay, make a motion to authorize the town clerk
They're over.
to advertise for all the openings of members whose terms are ending December 31st,
I'll second that.
2023.
Why? Supervisor Prodi?
Yes.
Councilpersons Doyle?
Yes.
Gutierrez?
Yes.
Blackman?
Yes.
And Revelard.
Yes.
And it's always fun to do this. Snow's coming. We've received one bid.
These are snow removal
I know,
bids.
it's so exciting. Okay, so for the Wasatch Trail snow removal, we
Just
received,
clarify, we only received 1 bid.
that's correct, I said that. We only received 1 bid.
And that was advertised broadly, and that's
Yes.
only one firm was interested?
That's correct.
Okay.
I'm gonna open 2 special envelopes. This one, I happen to know what it's for, and this one I happen to know what it's for, because the guys told me. This one is only seeking interest in the Wasatch Trail snow
Okay.
removal. This one is received from Northwest Lawn and Landscaping Maintenance LLC, Frank Duncan, and the bid amount is $13,212.
It's 3-0, not 1-3, right?
13,000.
13.
Yes.
Got it. I heard
13.
3-0.
No.
13,212. He has his contract in there, the insurance. And for those that may not recall, he had the bid last year. So I actually have their insurances on file.
Yeah, he has the equipment to do the trail. The highway department equipment is much too big, so they're unable to do it.
The other one, the sidewalk snow removal. Kindred Property Care LLC, $39,000 even. And he provided us with his updated insurance as well. So we'll come back up to those later in the meeting. But those were the only 2. It was advertised,
Extensively.
and those are the ones we received. And I do, for upcoming activities here, just to kind of save the date, I know we have Thanksgiving right around the corner, but beyond that, we do have a holiday season. And I know that the Amenia Fire Company has requested the use of the building for their annual craft fair. So Stacy's already reached out, filled out the required paperwork, and they're going to be hosting that here on Sunday, December 17th. So save the date if anybody needs last-minute gifts, and as soon as I get the flyer, I'll get it out and circulated. So Stacy, if you're watching, or any of the members watching, I need that flyer. And that's all I have for activities and information that was sent to me.
Okay, are there any other board or committee reports?
Hi, I'll do mine real quick. Charlie Miller, Chair of the Housing Board. So our Community Development Block Grant, one of the contingencies is to provide quotes for the work that has to be done at the house. And working with Dutchess County, they will accept quotes. We don't actually have to go out to bid for this to satisfy the can you get the work done within the budget you've proposed. So we've already received 2 bids for the asbestos abatement, and both of those are below the budgeted items. I'll put together all of this stuff. Hopefully it'll be done within the next week or 2. And the work's been divided into 3 different categories. So there was the asbestos abatement, the septic system, and then general contracting. We have a septic company coming out on Friday, and then another one coming out on Monday. And then we've sent a statement of work out to some general contractors who are going to set up site visits to come and look at the work and then provide quotes. And then those quotes will go to Dutchess County. Hopefully they will be below our budgeted items, and will satisfy that contingency. And then, if there's any questions? Okay. The wastewater committee. So last board meeting, there was some public comment about doing case studies for other municipalities, small rural municipalities that have systems that are similar to what we're proposing, so that the wastewater committee can go out, put together these case studies, and demonstrate to people who live in the vicinity of where the siting of the treatment facility is being proposed, can see if there are, smells and odors and other things like that. I mean, people have brought up valid concerns, and we want to address those. So we have reached out to Hillsdale is kind of like, the gold bearer of these types of systems. So Hillsdale, Millbrook, which if people don't know, Millbrook has had a municipal wastewater system, which actually is different than what we are proposing. They actually have, it is the typical, all of the sewage goes to one site, which is in the village. It's kind of remarkable. And it's been operating since the early 30s, which is kind of crazy. So that's Millbrook, Rhinebeck, and Lyons Falls. So our hope is that we'll be able to visit those within the next few weeks, put together an actual document, and then have meetings with people who live along Lake Amenia Road. And then probably in the spring, I would imagine, actually go and do field trips to those sites. We're also, tonight we decided that we're going to put together case studies for individual homeowners for their failing systems as how much that would cost. We have several that we know right now are going through that process, so we are hoping that they will share with us the quotes that they're getting from vendors. We know some of them are extraordinarily high, to demonstrate this is how much it would cost, if you had to or need to replace your failing system, which I think, at the end of the day, is one of the most important things about this system is that it's insurance against that probability. So, great.
Thank you.
Are there any other board or committee reports?
I can offer the CAC Climate Smart Task Force update. Stacy and I, and hopefully Brenna Robinson, our grant writer with Choice Words, are working to meet the November 21 deadline for the decarbonization grant for heat pump installation in the gym, what we call the kitchen, and locker room. The maximum award is $100,000 and technically requires no matching funds from the town. The goal is to provide clean, efficient source of heating and cooling of the gym so it could become an emergency cooling center/shelter for the town. The proposed heat pump units alone will be approximately $67,000. We're just getting quotes, including labor for the installation of the heat pumps. Yet unknown is the cost of connecting the heat pumps to our existing electrical service at Town Hall. This could require upgrading the town's electrical amperage to support the heat pump usage and overall use of the gym. NYSEG has to come out to do this calculation, and now that we have the heat pump specs, that should be possible. A further recommendation is to plan for the insulation of the gym ceiling to gain the full efficiency expected from the heat pumps. We'll be working on this weekend, Stacy and I, so I wanted to go over the project budget as we're pulling together these last numbers. For the town's cost share of the project, we're expecting that the $6,500 that the Climate Smart Task Force had earned from other grant-funded projects. They had two $5,000 grant awards. We have $6,500 of that yet left available from the 2 NYSERDA grants. You might recall that we're doing a $3,400 audit of the town hall energy. It's called a town, let's see, it's an energy audit. So they're going to go through the entire town and make sure that there are low-hanging fruit for lower energy usage that we can, they'll recommend specific things that we could implement to further reduce our energy use. And that's happening in a week or so. So we have $6,500 from that, and we propose that in our 2024 budget that we earmark $3,500 in the building maintenance line to cover any possible excess electrical costs associated with this connection that needs to be done. We can also include 30 hours of in-kind labor, and Foundation for Community Health has encouraged us to apply for funds for this project because they want to support emergency cooling shelters specifically. So we fit perfectly with their grant funds that they have set aside for this kind of work. Our application gets us extra points for being a disadvantaged community and for hopefully completing the town hall energy audit on November 9th. So we're doing everything we can, but the deadline is really short, and I want to make it very clear that we need the help of the grant writer to help make sure that we pull in all of the estimates and timing. We appreciate the help of Mike Segelkin, who's helped us understand what amperage we need and if it's sufficient or if we're going to need a giant upgrade to the exterior. And if you can speak to any of that, Mike Segelkin, I'd really appreciate it because I am not an electrician.
Presently, the building does not have enough amperage in it for the gymnasium. Back when we purchased the whole generator for the whole building, we did put a new panel in, transfer switch for that, which was 600 amps. At that time, we discussed whether to raise the amperage coming in from the street, and for the cost, it never was done. It's my understanding we still only have 480 amps coming in.
Do you recall what the cost was, estimate at that time?
No, I don't.
It was staggering.
Yes, it was a lot.
I think it was like $40,000, $50,000.
Yeah, so that's why it never was done. We put the big transfer switch in big enough to accommodate. In the future, we were going to raise to 600 amps coming into the building. In order to add these new mini splits and all into the gym, we need to do that.
Okay.
There's not enough amperage to run them. So,
thank you for that, because I certainly would have not figured that out on my own. I just recall the kitchen debacle and that it really put a damper on our...
This kitchen does have a panel in it. If we use that to run the mini splits, we will not be able to run any of the kitchen stuff in it.
Right.
You know, we're talking about, we have a panel right outside this room, maybe catching the extra outlets we want to add to the gym, seeing as though there's only 2 outlets in the whole gymnasium.
Right.
And one in the little locker room. So we were talking about coming out of this outlet, we have room in our panel box to get some outlets in the gymnasium from that, but there's just not enough for the 8 mini splits in there.
Can you explain what our heating and cooling system for the gym is currently?
Right now, it comes from the new boilers we put in a few years ago, which it's hot water switched into, we have radiators in there basically, and there are 2 units on either end with fans built in them, with basically a big radiator with a fan to push the air around. So,
Is it your feeling that these heat pumps would dramatically improve the efficiency of the heating? I know that's not your specialty.
I don't
but-
know how much it would be for the heating, but it'll offer the cooling. There is no cooling.
So currently, there is no cooling
Yes.
system? Okay.
You know, the first floor already has all the mini splits and heat pumps. They are nice in the spring and the fall, when we first, before we turn the boiler on in the fall, or if we shut it off in the spring and we get a cold day, we can at least get heat in our offices. You know,
Which are
that's-
smaller than the gymnasium.
Yeah,
So they
that's where
work well.
they're handy for the heating end of it. But, you know, we have primary heat we just upgraded the whole system a few years ago, so.
But it's the cooling center, I think, that we really are
Yes.
looking at this. Okay.
You can get units that are just cooling.
Yeah, they're
Without the
getting
heat
harder
pump.
to get, but they're
Well, that's
kind
what I have in my office and Marge's office when we
Right.
had to replace them. Because the only thing they had in there were the ancient Mitsubishis that were in there, and they were just cooling units.
Right.
Okay. Appreciate all your help with this.
Thank you.
Okay. Did you want the town board reports at the same time, or not? Or are you waiting till the
No,
end?
go ahead.
Okay, my town board report is the Amenia's Free Theater Arts Program update. I distributed 150 registration flyers to the 2nd to 4th grade students this morning at Weebatuck, inviting them to participate in a free holiday performance, Into the Light, on December 17th, presented by the Vanover Caravan and Arm of the Sea Theater. Instructor Olivia Vanover will provide 4 free after-school workshops for participating students in the high school auditorium to prepare for their part in that show. Into the Light is a captivating fusion of live music, dance, storytelling, and giant puppetry. It weaves a heartwarming tale of holiday magic and hope for the audience. It's a unique opportunity for students to collaborate and perform with talented professionals, immerse themselves in the world of the performing arts, and to showcase their talents in front of a live audience. Students can register online at Amenia NY myrec.com or return the registration form to the town clerk's office, open Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Plus, they need to provide a completed parental consent form by Wednesday, November 15th. Or you can email all your registration information, and I'll put it into the portal, or Katie will put it in the portal, at vdoyle@ameniany.gov, or call 845-489-7826 for more information. These are after-school programs courtesy of Weebatuck High School Auditorium and their staff. They are going to walk the children who are in the elementary school across the road for us. They're going to let us use their brand-new auditorium. It is totally refurbished, it's 100% professionally, and we're going to have a really professional performance that's free to everybody to come and celebrate the 2nd through 4th graders' performance and see the fabulous Arm of the Sea Theater and Vanover Caravan dancers perform. It'll be a nice holiday performance. There's snow dates. We've worked out all the details, and I really, really have to say thank you to Tony Robustelli, because he said over and over again, please check out the high school. Please check out the high school auditorium. And I kept thinking it's so much easier to just do it here, where I know, the place is open and closed at the right time and the place is available, but they have worked with me seamlessly at the Weebatuck School to make this happen. So a free program, 100% free, will help you with your costumes if you can't afford the basic uniform, and we're just really looking forward to it. Thank you.
Are there any other board or committee reports? If not, we'll move on to resolutions. Number?
104.
adopting a local law of the Town of Amenia, New York to override the tax levy limit for fiscal year 2024, established in General Municipal Law, Section 3C. Whereas the resolution was duly adopted by the Town Board of the Town of Amenia, introducing proposed local law number X, are we doing? Of 2023, entitled Local Law Number X of year 2023, to override the tax levy limit for fiscal year 2024, established in General Municipal Law, Section 3C. Whereas the public hearing was duly advertised in the Millerton News, the official newspaper of the town. Whereas the public hearing was held on November 2nd, 2023, and all parties in attendance were permitted an opportunity to speak on behalf of or in opposition to said proposed local law or any part thereof. Whereas the town board determined that the proposed local law was not subject to environmental review. Whereas the town board of the Town of Amenia, after due deliberation, finds it is in the best interests of the town to adopt said local law. Now therefore be it resolved, the town board of the Town of Amenia hereby adopts local law number X of 2023, titled Local Law Number X of year 2023, to override the tax levy limit for fiscal year 2024, established in General Municipal Law, Section 3C, a copy of which is attached hereto and made a part thereof. I make that motion.
I'll second.
Supervisor Perotti?
Yes.
Councilpersons Doyle?
Yes.
Gutierrez?
Yes.
Blackman?
Yes.
Revelar?
Yes.
We'll do the Wassaic bid first. Awarding a bid for providing snow removal services to the Wassaic Trail within the Town of Amenia.
Sorry, this is 105?
Yes. Whereas the Town of Amenia is seeking snow removal services, including sanding and de-icing with pet-friendly ice melting material for the Wassaic Trail, which extends from the Wassaic train station to the Wassaic Hamlet. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Amenia authorized the town clerk to advertise for bids for the Wassaic Trail snow removal services. Whereas the town clerk published a notice to bidders pursuant to the Town of Amenia procurement policy. And whereas the town clerk received the following bids.
Northwest Lawn and Landscaping Maintenance, LLC, in the amount of $13,212.
Whereas it has been determined that Northwest Lawn and
Landscaping Maintenance.
Landscaping LLC is the lowest responsible bidder for the Wassaic Trail snow removal services. Now therefore be it resolved that recitations above are set forth or incorporated in this resolution as it fully set forth and adopted herein. The town board hereby approves the proposal from Northwest Lawn and Landscaping LLC to provide removal services, including sanding and de-icing with pet-friendly ice melting materials for the Wassaic Trail within the Town of Amenia. The town board hereby authorizes the town supervisor to execute the Northwest and
Lawn and Landscaping.
landscaping, can't speak tonight, for snow removal services and any other documentation necessary to effectuate this resolution upon review by the attorney to the town. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Supervisor Perotti?
Yes.
Councilpersons Doyle?
Yes.
Gutierrez?
Yes.
Blackman?
Yes.
Revelar?
Yes.
Okay, Resolution 106, awarding bid for providing sidewalk snow removal services to the Town of Amenia. Whereas the Town of Amenia is seeking sidewalk snow removal services for various locations within the Town of Amenia, the Hamlet of Wassaic, and at Town Hall. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Amenia authorized the town clerk to advertise for sidewalk snow removal bids. Whereas the town clerk published a notice to bidders pursuant to the Town of Amenia procurement policy. Whereas the town clerk received the following bids.
Kindred Property Care, LLC, in the amount of $39,000 even.
Where it has been determined that Kindred Property Care LLC is the lowest responsible bidder for the sidewalk snow removal services. Now therefore be it resolved that the recitations above set forth are incorporated in this resolution as it fully set forth and adopted herein. The town board hereby approves the proposal from Kindred Property Care LLC to provide sidewalk snow removal services to the town of Amenia. The town board hereby authorizes the town supervisor to execute the Kindred Property Care LLC proposal for sidewalk snow removal services and any other documentation necessary to effectuate this resolution upon review by the attorney to the town. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Supervisor Perotti?
Yes.
Councilpersons Doyle?
Yes.
Gutierrez?
Yes.
Blackman?
Yes.
Revard?
Yes.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Not aware of any other matters at this time. Town board comments?
I know it's shocking.
All right.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Oh, wow.
Well, I have a few.
All right.
They were going to have a few events in the next few days. The Amenia Historical Society with the Northeast Historical Society on Saturday, November 4th from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock will have a program, the Chattahoochee First Nation. They'll have information about the history of the town regarding this group. Their VFW breakfast is from 7:30 to 11, Sunday, November 5th. Please come out and support your veterans. We are looking into the possibility of having a free concert here at the Amenia Town Hall as part of the holiday events in December. On December 9th, I've been speaking with a gentleman called George Sobel, who actually books Celtic groups for concerts and dancers for pretty much all over the world. He has came look at our space and said that we could do a nice program called a Celtic Christmas Celebration, a concert with a dance component on December 9th from 7 to 9 p.m. And as soon as I have more information about that, I'll let you know. But we wanted to have a holiday event at our historic town hall for everyone to enjoy. And it would be a free concert. And does anyone else have any other comments other than me?
I have a very boring one. Our Office 365 licenses need to be renewed for next year, so we'll need a PO like we've done in years past.
We'll need to add 2.
We'll need to add, yeah, we should probably,
Add 5.
5, we'd probably add 5.
Okay. Let me know what I need to do.
I will, I'll get the quote for inclusive of the additional 5, and I'll send it your way.
Okay. You use it working with the same person, Jerry Greer?
Jerry.
Okay. At this time, we're looking to do another brief executive session for proposed acquisition of real property. I make a motion to go into executive session. At this time, the town clerk is excused.
Second.
The supervisor's going to take the minutes?
Yes, she is.
Thank you. The time is 7:56. Supervisor Perotti?
I have to go
Supervisor Perotti?
roll.
Yes.
Councilperson Doyle?
Yes.
Gutierrez?
Yes.
I'm not
Blackman.
going to let you go.
Revillard.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
No, you're going to say no for me.